Cause we black and we back and we back. We black. We back. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Everybody, it's your man CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's
Hold
good?
on, I gotta switch my audio over, bro. Hold on. Let me switch my audio over. Let me switch audio over, and we back. Now we should be good. But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, we should be good.
But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and
All
gentlemen.
right, sound good to me. Sound good to me. I know this is ghetto, y'all. Fixing the audio right in the middle of the broadcast. Very ghetto.
Me, I know this is ghetto, y'all. Fixing the audio right in the middle of it.
Okay, we good. What's good, everybody? It's your man CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another live stream. Not going to be a long show today, but I do want to discuss some things, boys and girls. Uh, Before you get settled in, I would definitely like you to hit that like button, that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss none of the content here. And I appreciate you being here with me this afternoon, this morning, whenever you may be watching. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you right here with me, and I greatly appreciate that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to business. Got a few things we're going to talk about this afternoon. I want to react to something. I want to react to something before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. We're going to be talking about Miss Shanquella Robinson today, the young lady who lost her life in Cabo um, a few days ago while vacationing out with her friends. And I know a lot of y'all nurses out there, y'all take these vacations. Some of y'all be paying for everybody else's vacation. Some of y'all be paying for your family vacations and all that kind of stuff. And see, I feel like there is something that could be learned from this very tragic situation where a young woman lost her life. But we're going to get to that a little bit later on in the broadcast. Um, want to talk to you. First thing I want to do is discuss this. I want to discuss this, and I think this is an interesting thing because for some reason this video actually popped up on my timeline, and I'm gonna react to it. Fair use, boys and girls. I want to react to a Miss Olivia Alexa. She has a video on YouTube called "Struggling Men Are the Prize," and I want to react to that because I thought it was interesting, to say the least. Struggling men are the prize, according to her, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know much about this woman. I've never heard of her. She just happened to pop up on the channel today, like randomly. So, um, and I watched the video. I want to go over it because I thought it was interesting. Now, this is fair use. This is fair use. This is fair use. Now, I don't know if she's like a manosphere. Like, I don't know. I haven't done any research on her. Uh, and she seems to be like a nice person. But I wanted to talk about what she's saying in this video. She's saying struggling men are the prize, boys and girls. And I'm going to be honest with you, ladies, before we even start this video, no, I'm just going to tell you now, this is not the business what she is about to say. This is not the business. So let's get into it right here. She says struggling men are the prize. Let's get into it. Hold on, let me get this music cracking right. Let me pause this. All right. So she says struggling men out of pride. Let's check this out.
Hi, guys. 9 times out of 10, the things that are often overlooked are exactly where your attention should be. We're in a social media world, a world where everything is visual. But the funny thing is, a lot of women are still so blind. They see the dollar signs, the status, the lifestyle, all of which are attached to a man that's not worth her time. But that's exactly who gets all of it.
Now, I will say this. I will say that she does have a point as far as the social media world we live in, because we do live in a world where everything is visual and people can make up perceptions and people can make up lies about themselves. So I agree with her on that point. Let me start it again because I have my mic on. I don't know if it was going to be echoing. So it's only a 2-minute video. That's why I can do that. So let's do it one more time.
Hi, guys. 9 times out of 10, the things that are often overlooked are exactly where your attention should be. We're in a social media world, a world where everything is visual. But the funny thing is, a lot of women are still so blind. They see the dollar signs, the status, the lifestyle, all of which are attached to a man that's not worth her time. But that's exactly who gets all of it. See, what you don't understand.
Yeah, but what she's not mentioning is by default, uh, nobody wants to walk into poverty. Point blank, period. Nobody wants to walk into poverty. Nobody willingly wants to be a part of poverty. That's why a lot of these women, they shoot for the highest potential that they can possibly get, which I don't see a problem with. I don't see a problem with that. I have no problem with this. I have no problem with any woman saying, you know what? I want the highest guy that I can find. This is what I want. So let's get back to what she's saying.
Understand is a man that you look down on because he was working a 9 to 5, regular guy, out every day grinding to make it, is the same man who would have treated you right. But you overlook.
That's not necessarily true either. Just because a man is works a 9 to 5 and he may be struggling or broke or poor, that doesn't necessarily mean he gonna treat you right. It's plenty of broke men that don't have two nickels to rub together that are some of the worst people on the planet. Some of the worst people on the planet. So let's not get it twisted and act like just because the man is broke or he's working a 9 to 5, he's just this all around good guy. I cannot recommend anybody. So we're gonna finish the video. Let me finish the video so we can get the whole narrative.
The person you should have seen. And that's the case with so many women. A person will show you who they truly are when you have nothing to offer them. When you have little to no benefit to offer, is when you will see what a person is truly about and where your relationship stands. A lot of women neglect the beauty of dating a struggling man, but that's where the foundation of trust is built, the loyalty, the commitment, because he's not trying to win you over with any money because he doesn't have.
Okay, so first thing we need to do is define struggling, right? What is struggling to me? Now, I'm just giving you my perception of what struggling is. Now, when she says struggling, I'm thinking of a person that can barely take care of themselves, that is living check to check, that don't really know how they're going to pay their bills for the next week, that don't know how they're going to pay their rent for the next week, that's working a dead end job, that's really not progressing, right? They're struggling or they're on the come up, right? And there's nothing wrong with being on the come up. But when I think of struggling, I think of somebody who is barely making it. Far fetched? I don't think so. But here's the thing. If I'm a man that's on a come up, that's working a 9 to 5, that's trying to get my shit together, I don't need to be concerned about entertaining no female. And this is my argument with that. I don't want to be concerned about entertaining no woman. I'm broke. Nigga, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I'm struggling. So why would I want to bring a female into my struggling world? And that is the issue. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like we are some of the only people that talk like this. I would never tell my daughter to willingly go get with a man who's struggling. If I had a daughter, I think that is awful advice. But let's continue.
habit. He's going to win you over with effort, consistency, and that comes with respect. See, you only value and respect something that you had to work hard to get. He understands the sweat, the long days, the living paycheck to paycheck, the goal setting, working overtime just to take you somewhere nice, etc.
Problem. If a man is struggling, he shouldn't be worried about taking no woman on no trip nowhere. Nigga, you're struggling. I'm not finna be working overtime just to take a female on a vacation when I can barely pay my bills. This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And this is why so many women get disappointed, because when they do get in situations to where they get a man, right? Let's just say you get a build a bear ass dude and you help build him up and build him into the man that you want to become, right? Let's just say you are successful in that game. And guess what happens? Not saying that this is going to happen all the time, but guess what? You're going to be even more upset when he breaks bad on you. Even more upset. That's crazy. You should not be working. See, and this is the problem. Like I've had discussions with certain females, and they'll be like, well, a man's need to spend this kind of money and this much money on a wedding ring, or they need to spend this much money on this and this much money on that, but they can't afford it. If you spending $20,000 on a ring, you can't afford it. Talking about, well, they can make payments. That's dumb. That's how you end up in debt. Why would I spend some money? Why would I break bread on something that I really can't afford? Oh, you can make payments and you can prove your love and all that. No. We don't do that. If it's not convenient, then it's not worth putting your time and energy into. That makes no sense. Why would I try to bring another human being into another struggling situation? That's crazy. I would never tell my daughter that. What I would tell my daughter is to focus on being the best version of you. Make sure you know how to have skill. Make sure you have skills to where you can earn yourself some money just in case something happens and y'all fall on hard times. But here's the thing. Here's the caveat with that. A man should be out there on his purpose, on his grind, getting to the bag, getting to the paper, not worried about taking a woman on no vacation. Pops always said that if you can't take care of a family on your salary alone, you don't need to be with her. Point blank, period. This woman sounds like she's talking out of fear of a man who's already made it. Because if you are with a man who is already established without you, then you're going to have to compete just a little bit more or not. And he'll get with the chick that will compete for him. Point blank, period. But ladies, why would you willingly want to walk into a broke ass situation? That is the worst advice somebody could ever give you. I would not ever tell any of my female friends to willingly go date a man who is struggling, because she said struggling. Her video was called Struggling Men Are the Prize. And you don't want nobody that's struggling. You want somebody who's stable. And that don't mean he has to be rich. You don't have to be rich to be stable, but struggling, no, that's slow. That's very slow. And I'm not disrespecting this woman. She could be a nice woman, but I think her advice is awful. Point blank, period. I think her advice is absolutely terrible. And I think that's why we get so caught up in struggle love. Like love is supposed to be a struggle. Relationships supposed to be a struggle, when that's just not true. It's not true.
That's where 90% of the time the guy with wealth falls short. He has no respect for you. He didn't put any effort with you. He didn't have to work to build a foundation with you. He simply bought you. To him, you're just another.
She sounds like a woman who dated a rich guy and she might not have come correct and he charged her to the game. That's just what I'm assuming, because she's talking about building a foundation with you. You can do that as a couple to a man that's already established. A man is supposed to come get you, and you're supposed to be an asset to his life. You're supposed to be an asset to his life. I would never tell my daughter to get with a struggling man. That is insane. I'm literally making what? I'm making $9.30 an hour. I'm bringing home $500 every 2 weeks, and you telling me I need to take a female into my world? No, absolutely not. No. You get with a man who's stable or established, and you create a. This is awful advice. Awful advice. Oh my God, this is terrible advice, because It's nothing cool about struggling. You're not supposed to stay struggling. And I don't want anybody else to come into my world and we all just struggling together. No, you're supposed to be focused as a dude. You're supposed to be focused on your grind. You're supposed to be focused on getting your paper. You're supposed to be focused. You're not supposed to be worried about getting no coochie. You're not supposed to be worried about no woman, especially if you in your 30s and you living with your mama. What you gonna bring your mama? You bring your girl to your mama house? You gonna get respect from her? You bring her to your mama house? That's why she talking to you any kind of way. And this woman don't mean this. She does not mean. She can't mean this. Struggling men are the prize. No, 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 no. I don't know if she's trying to cater to a certain audience of men who don't want to put in the work, but I just can't see no self-respecting man telling his daughter that struggling men are the prize. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Another prize on the shelf, something to pull out when he wants to play with it and throw back when he's done. That's what most wealthy men do. They buy things because they can, not because they need it. Hell, sometimes not even because they want it, just because they can. They're more intrigued with the fact that they can buy you instead of actually being intrigued with you. To him, you come at a monetary cost, and he can buy 1,000 more of you because you come a dime a dozen. You're nothing special. But
Translation. So what she's saying is get with a broke man because he won't be so quick to charge you to the game if you display bad behavior. That's really what she's saying. That's really what she's saying. She's saying, ladies, don't get with a man who's established. Don't get with a man who's wealthy or rich or has paper because he's going to look at you as something on the shelf to play with, and then he'll toss you back in the ocean or whatever she's saying. What she's really saying is that get with you a broke man. You can control him. You can control him. He ain't gonna have no money. He depending on you to live. He depending on his mama. He depending on all that stuff. And you can control him and he gonna be good to you. And that's the furthest thing from the truth because half of y'all got these niggas riding around in your car anyway, living up in your house, eating your baby food and still doing you dirty. So while she's sitting here talking about some, oh, well, you know, you don't want to get with a man with paper. You don't want to get with a man who got his stuff together. You don't want to get with a man who's established. Struggling men are the prize. No. Get you a struggling man. He going to respect you. He going to love you. You think a man with paper won't love a woman who he finds valuable? You just got to come correct. Because you're not going to talk to a man who got his own and got his shit together any kind of way. You're not gonna come displaying that bad attitude to a man who got his shit together any kind of way. But you can do that to a nigga who needs you. You can do that to a man who ain't got no money. You can do that to a man who ain't got no other women checking for him. That's what she's really saying. And let's be honest, these chicks ain't trying to mess with no dude that don't know other women won't. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real. They not. This is terrible advice. Ladies, to all the ladies that follow this channel, I got half this channel is female oriented. Half my listeners, I got half female listeners. It's like 49, 51%. I got 49% women and I got 51% men on this channel. Ladies, please do not listen to what this woman is saying. This is horrible advice. Get you a man who is stable. And if he's not already established, make sure he's stable and make sure he has his shit together. I promise you, you will have a better time with the man who can build his own kingdom and bring you into his kingdom. I promise you that. Because all y'all that got these house husbands and y'all running the show and telling him what to do, y'all not happy. You're not happy. You're not happy cussing the nigga out, telling him you got to wash the dishes and all that kind of stuff. And you don't work 80 plus hours and you can't take a day off because he ain't adding nothing to the table. You don't want that. I'm telling you now, if you listen to her and get with the struggling man, you ain't going to respect her. You talking about looking over. Now, it's a difference between looking over a man who's stable and you just going for the glitz and the glam versus somebody who's struggling. Because there is a big difference between stable and struggling. You got struggling, stable, well off. Get you somebody who's stable. Why would I just walk into a situation that's just full of poverty? That's crazy. You don't want to do that. That's terrible advice. She may be a nice young lady, but this is horrible advice.
But with the struggling man, your love was bought with authenticity and genuineness that was built on solid ground. And that's the beauty within the struggle. So
She said, with the struggling man, your love was bought with authenticity, and that's the beauty within the struggle. Are y'all what? This might be some of the slowest shit I've ever heard in my life. This is terrible. Within the struggle. No, why do we keep promoting this as a community? Struggle love, struggle love. No, I don't want to struggle. And I'm not trying to bring no woman into my stuff that's struggling, that want to struggle too. That's crazy. Somebody need to be trying to put in some work or be already established. I do not want a female. I don't want no ladies on this channel that's even comfortable being with a struggling man. You shouldn't even be comfortable with that, but that's only if you're a female that that's worth not being struggled for. Cause some of y'all deserve struggling men. I ain't gonna cap. Some of y'all, but not the ladies on this channel, because y'all smart. Y'all over here. I don't want none of y'all to have no struggling dude at all. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't get pregnant by a nigga that's struggling. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Because them will be the ones that'll get you pregnant. Because check this out. It can go left with either situation. It can go left with either situation. It can go left with the nigga who ain't got shit. And it can go left with the dude who do have something. I'd rather take my chances on a person that at least got something. At least you can get some out the damn deal. If something do go left. Broke nigga, you just walking away with dick dust and bad stories. That's it. That's it. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I guess let me let her finish.
until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
And a lot of broke niggas gonna take that and run with it because she's a cute girl. And they gonna run with that. You know, some of y'all are some light-skinned supremacists. So y'all, a lot of dudes gonna run with that and everything like that. But that's terrible advice. That's terrible advice. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this Shanquella Robinson. Now, before we get into that, let me get my music back cracking. Let me get my music back cracking. And I want to talk to all the nurses out here because, as you know, this channel is nurse-based, right? Shout out to DD Unlimited. Shout out to Miss Pollard. Shout out to Alyssa Harris. She said, oh, hell no, it's too much. She need to value herself. That's a hard life to live when you have to do everything, not the mama house. Broke men are the worst. Oh, so sad. And again, before we get into that, it is a difference between someone who's struggling and somebody who's stable, because a lot of women will overlook a man who's stable, who is an average guy working an average job with an average salary, who can take care of himself because they feel like they're too good for that guy, or they want a guy who got $100,000 or $150,000 and this and that. You'll overlook a guy who is stable and could take care of you. That's the difference between someone who's stable and struggling. She said struggling, and she made it very clear. She said struggling. She didn't say stable. No. So anyway, let's talk about Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella Robinson. Now, she is a young lady who, unfortunately, was unalived over in Cabo, Mexico. And she went with a group of people. And according to them, it was some alcohol poisoning. We're going to get into the article. But before we get into the article, I really want to say this to like a lot of the nurses out there, new nurses out there as well. Because, you know, a lot of y'all get money and y'all start going on vacations and stuff like that. You'll start taking your friend on vacations like that. And this is why you have to understand, when you moving up in life and up in certain situations, the company that you keep is very crucial to everything that you do. you cannot move the same way that you used to move as you start to grow in life and you start to better your life. I'm sorry, but that is an unfortunate reality. And this is exactly why this case right here is case in point why you cannot take everybody with you. Because here's the thing, they released the video and I saw the video. It was only a 16-second video, and the video was of her fighting. Now, allegedly, the person that she was fighting was a transgender woman. Allegedly. We don't know this for a fact, but that is the speculation going around. We don't know, but allegedly. So she had some people on vacation with her. Later on, she ends up not alive. You have to understand. Now, apparently, this woman was like a lash tech or whatever. She either did lashes or I think she either did hair. She was pretty successful at that. If I'm getting the facts turned around, my apologies, but we're not really focused on what she did for a living. We're focused on what type of people that you have around you. Here's the thing, and I hate to sound like this, but people, when you value something, people treat it a little bit different. And this is the problem that as a cruiser we've been experiencing on cruise ships lately, right? When something is cheap, you draw all kind of people. And it's unfortunate because you have great people who may not be able to afford certain things. So they go places and it may be of value to them and they go to have a good time. But that also attracts the people who ain't about nothing and who was ready to go and mess some stuff up. Now, as I told you before, I saw the video and this, the girl was fighting the other person. And allegedly it was over a dude. Allegedly, I don't know, but allegedly it was over a dude. And then they recorded the video. Now, the fact that you would go on a trip with a person that you really didn't like or with a person that you already had smoke for, that's a problem. That's a problem because that shows you went there looking for something to pop off. You went there looking for something to pop off. Clearly, the person who was fighting Shanquella had smoke with her. So you knew from the jump that you was going to wait all the way until you got to Mexico. See, this is why I don't do Airbnbs, because it looked like they was in an Airbnb too, by the way. Because I don't want to, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be in a room with 6 other people. This is why we do all inclusives. We never stay at Airbnb. We either do all inclusives or hotels. We never stay in Shout out to Lady A in the chat. Anti-Social Elite Podcast. Make sure y'all go check that out. She doing good work over there. Lady A all the way from the UK. But you go over there with the intentions to start something. Because for a person to fight means that on vacation, by the way, means that to me, I feel like this was already pre-planned. Because when I'm on vacation, having a fight is the furthest thing from my mind, bro. The furthest thing. So you already got a person with nothing to lose. And this is why I tell y'all all the time, bro. You cannot hang with people who got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because this woman is willing to get into a fight. Not Shanquella, but the person who was fighting. Because from the video, it looks like clearly Shanquella did not want to fight this person. Clearly, that's what it looked like. So you over there with a person who's willing to get into a fight in a foreign country. So they already don't have anything to lose and everything to gain. You do not want to be around people like that. Point blank, period. You are not trying to be around people like that, fellas. So I'm telling y'all, all my male nurses out there that's getting that paper, that's getting to that bag, getting their body right. You need to vet the women that you start kicking it with. Because if you rocking with a chick and she ain't got nothing to lose and everything in the game, trust me, my boy, you may be a potential come up. Ladies, you got niggas who are professional baby daddies out here. You dig what I'm saying? You fly, you feminine, got your edges right, you a nurse, you getting it popping, your body right, you looking good. You see, you meet your little dude over there. He ain't got shit going for himself, nothing to lose, everything in the game. He waiting to knock a broad like you, not broad, but he waiting to knock a chick like you up. Professional baby daddy, you're a come up. This is why you can't be around niggas who ain't got nothing to lose. So they fight on vacation. Next thing you know, girl ends up not alive. Let's get to the article. You need to be careful. You have to be careful. Because it's a wild world out here. It's a wild world out here. So, and I'm not going to share the videos. There's no point. I don't want to share the video because we don't need to get into that. But here we go. Now it says Shanquella Robinson died in Cabo. Her mom wants answers. Salamandra Robinson's daughter died on Cabo San Lucas vacation with friends, and she wants to know what happened. When Salamandra Robinson last spoke to her daughter on the phone, Shanquella Robinson was on vacation in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. The 25-year-old hairdresser, she's a hairdresser, okay, from Charlotte, North Carolina, went on the October 28th trip with a group of 7 friends to celebrate someone's birthday, according to Salamandra. Queen City News reported that the group stayed at Villa Linda 32, Villa Linda 32, a property listed on Cabo Villas. Okay. They had a villa and they stayed there all night. Let me tell you something. I'm sorry, but I'm not staying in no villa, no Airbnb, none of that. I'm not staying in none of that with a group of other people, with a whole bunch of people. It's just going to be me and my girl. I'm sorry. But see, that eliminates a lot of bullshit too. Because when everybody piling their money together, staying some shit, you got different energies and stuff like that mix up. I ain't got time for that. You got 7 different people using the same bathroom. Everybody ain't clean. You got 7 different personalities and all that shit. Yeah, we can link up in public at the end of the, in the daytime or at night. But all that 6, 7 people to a room, no, we not doing that. We are not doing that. All no, I'm with mines and that's it. Cause shoot, we ain't got time for that. She said they had a villa and stayed there all night. Salamandra told Queen City News they didn't go out at all. According to Salamandra, Shanquella talked to her mother before dinner on Friday, the first night of their trip. She told me they had a chef. Salamandra said they were getting ready to eat. They were eating tacos or a salad or something. And I said, okay, I love you. Have a good night. And I will talk to you tomorrow. But Salamandra never talked to Shanquella again. Less than 24 hours later, her 25-year-old daughter was not alive. And now she's demanding answers from the people who were with her. Let me see. Okay. According to a spokesperson from the lodging site, a vacation group arrived on Friday and called for medical help on Saturday afternoon. A concierge alerted a doctor who gave Shanquella CPR but could not revive her. Less than 15 minutes later, the official time of death was declared at 3 p.m., Queen City News reports. But in the days since her daughter's death, Salamandra said Shanquella's friends have given her conflicting accounts about what happened to Shanquella. Dealing with dusty individuals. Be careful who you hang around. I do not hang out with the same niggas that I came up with. I'm sorry, but I don't. If we ain't on the same mindset mentally, if we ain't on the same grind mentally, if we don't share the same ideologies, I ain't got nothing for you, my guy. I can love you from a distance, but this is how you think. This is how I think. I need to be over there. You need to be over here. We can link up in public, chop it up, get some dinner every now and then. But all that hanging out, going on trips and all that crazy stuff, we not doing that, bro, because we don't think the same. We don't think the same. We got to be of the same mindset here. Let's see. Let me see. They said she wasn't feeling well. She recalled they couldn't get a pulse. Each one of the people that were with her was telling different stories. And let's not get it twisted. They know what happened to that girl. They know. They know what happened to that girl. Be careful who you hang with. Look at that girl in Chicago who they found in the freezer at that hotel. She was with a bunch of people too. Just careless. Be careful who you hang with. Be careful who you are around, bro. Everybody do not have your best interest. Everybody ain't your friends. Shout out to Mo3. Everybody ain't your partner. So it said Rolling Stone reached out to Shanquella's family, several of the friends linked to the Cabo trip, as well as representatives of for Cabo Villas. Now that's crazy because Cabo Villas finna take a hit. And that's why the Mexican authorities are quick to work with them. Like, look, we ain't got nothing to do with that. That was on some stuff that they did. You dig? Because I remember a couple years ago, people was ending up unalive over in Cancun and Dominican and all that kind of stuff. And that killed their tourism paper. They ain't having that no more. They ain't having that no more at all. So hold on, let's continue. It says when the autopsy came back, they said it didn't have anything to do with the alcohol. They said she had a broken neck and her spine in the back was cracked. She had been beaten. Nothing to do with no alcohol. Y'all gonna learn. You can't, and it's unfortunate because I know some of y'all be by yourself a lot. Some of y'all start making bread. Y'all be by yourself. Y'all don't be wanting to be alone all the time. But I'm trying to tell you, if that person ain't on the same wavelength as you, you don't need to hang around them. Now, it's 6 other people that know what happened, but don't want to say. They know. According to the Queen City News, an autopsy done on Shanquella listed the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Reached for comment, a spokesperson from the U.S. State Department confirmed a citizen had died in Cabo, but had no further comment about whether the incident was potentially being investigated for foul play. As the family searches for answers, a video has begun to circulate online and brings up more questions. Published first by a North Carolina blog, video footage of a fight allegedly between Shanquella and a friend shows a naked woman being punched while someone out of the frame tells Quella to fight back. Nigga shit. Dumb. Just dumb. You ain't gonna fight back. You ain't gonna fight back. Why are we fighting on vacation? Why are we spending this money on this villa just to go fight? Ignorant. Just ignorant. Ignorant. You on vacation, you in Mexico, you supposed to be having a good time. This is why you cannot deal with everybody. I don't care how real you niggas want to keep it. No, we can keep it real from over there. I saw the video. You ain't gonna fight back, Quella. You ain't gonna fight back. What? So nobody in that room while this girl was getting pummeled said that maybe this ain't a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't be focusing on fighting while we on vacation. Nobody said that. Nobody thought it was a good idea. Okay. All right. So don't nobody want to snitch, all of them need to be locked up. Because that woman lost her daughter, 25 years old, to some nonsense. And I don't know what part Shanquella had to play. I don't know the moving parts, but I do know that somebody is not here right now for some foolishness that probably 99% could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. That's what I'm telling y'all. I do not be staying with everybody. I do not. We do. I promise you, we do not be sharing rooms with nobody. We be getting our own room. We be getting our own space. We don't do Airbnbs. We do straight hotel, straight and all inclusive resorts with good reviews. We don't. We don't. No. No. We don't got time for them games. We got time for them games. Everybody. We ain't trying to have everybody go with us too. When you invite people who don't know how to act, who can't act right at home, what make you think they gonna act right in another country? People willing to risk their freedom and go to jail over in Mexico. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. The blog identified several friends they were claimed to be on a Cabo trip with Quella, and they don't release their addresses too. And I'm not, we ain't showing that. That's unnecessary for over here, but they don't release their address and everything. Since blog identified several friends they claim were on a Cabo trip with Shanquella at the time of her death. One man identified by the blog as Nazir Wiggins said that he was a part of the Cabo trip, but denied the blog's claims that he was responsible for her death. Wiggins posted on Instagram that he arrived in Cabo after the group asked for medical attention. And he quoted, "How the F am I covering up something I'm just as blind as y'all about?" He wrote on in an Instagram story Tuesday night. "I went to enjoy my birthday and in return got the worst day of my life." Mm-hmm. Okay. While Shanquella's family waits to learn more, a growing online response is urging police to look into her death further, as they should, pointing out inconsistencies between her friends' statements and her autopsy. The response mirrors outrage from the publicized and controversial deaths of Black women like Tamla Horsford, Lauren Smithfield, and Kanika Jenkins. Okay, Kanika, I think that's the girl from Chicago. I think that's the woman from Chicago. Yeah, this is wild. It's a wild situation. And then shout out to Morgan Santiago on Instagram. She was giving some game about you need to know where your U.S. embassies are. If you suspect foul play or somebody been following you or some crazy stuff, you need to go to the U.S. embassy and let them know that, hey, something ain't right. Something ain't right, bruh. So that's what I'm saying. Like something is not right. So here it says, while her family wants to ways to learn more, a growing online response is urging police to look into her death further, but not inconsistency between her friend's statement and her autopsy. The response, okay. In each of the cases, the circumstances around the woman's death were murky, and responses from police and law enforcement were criticized as muted and lackluster compared to the energy that constantly surrounds the high-profile cases of white women. Yeah, we need these answers, bruh. Because all these Black women coming up dead, and they supposed to be hanging with their friends, and then just the case just going dismissed or unsolved. That's a problem. And I feel like each one of those people that went on that trip with her, they know what happened to her. They know what happened to her. It says Salamandra told Queen City News that she will be looking for answers. She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her. Salamandra said, "I know that that's not going to bring my child back, but I want something done about it." I don't blame her. I want something done about it too. I want justice. I don't want no settlement. I don't want none of that. I want the people who killed my person in jail. Point blank, period. But ladies and gentlemen, that was all I got for you today. This is what we can learn from that situation. My bad, y'all. The computer froze up. It was doing some janky stuff. But like I said, that's pretty much all I got for y'all today. Told you it wasn't gonna be a long show. I wanted to come and talk about this because this was very janky. All my new nurses, all my older nurses, when y'all go on these trips, stop going with people who ain't got nothing to lose. Stop sharing these rooms with 4, 5, 6 other people. Get your own room. If you ain't with another, just get your own room. It's just better. If you ain't traveling with your significant other, get your own room. All that kind of stuff. Avoid the dumb stuff. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss none of the content. Till next time, if you don't do nothing else, get paid, young nurse, get paid. Peace.